Okay, this is actually an urgent topic for all my girls out there. If you're a woman, I don't care how old you are. I don't care at what stage you are in life. I think literally every single woman needs to hear this. And I'm not gonna say that everyone isn't aware of this, but I do think that a lot of people don't realize how much it is actually impacting their lives. It is literally the betrayal of being a woman. Our womanhood or sisterhood has been honestly destroyed, and we have so much potential as women to be at a point where we hold so much power, but obviously it's been taken away from us, and I'm starting to slowly realize why. Because I went through stages in my life where I faced things. I had to make many decisions where I was either facing, there was a point where I had to see what my priority was going to be, right? And the more I would switch around my priorities, the more I would see my energy shift and see how much it would have an impact on my overall being. I don't want to like go back to like the olden days, but I mean, if we just have like a little brief, we all know that women have always been seen for the wrong things, for like her body, her physical aspects, what she has in like womanly traits. Is she able to be like wifey enough? Whatever the case is, like those are the things that our society has prioritized, right? It's basically all the things that how can this benefit a man, right? So everything in regards to prioritizing a man's pleasure. That's what a woman was viewed as for a long time. And even till now, in certain parts of this world, it's still like that. That's the reality of it. It's a very like it's not like it's it's very much still around. I was never someone that really gave a shit about what I look like. I'm not someone that wears crazy things. I don't really have like a need to do that. And I know that a lot of women, the reason why they have this need to pamper is I know there are like a lot of girls that they love to do it just because it makes them feel good, right? But do I think that there's a big part where it's been almost like taught to us to be certain ways? Yes. We've been very much conditioned to take care of ourselves in a way that benefits to the male gaze, okay? I'm not saying that all women do that, but there is a big part where we think that we need this because it's just been ingrained in our heads that we're like, yeah, I have to like get my lashes done, I have to get my lips plumped. I don't know. I've put on like a whole face of makeup. Whatever the case is, I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, but I'm also gonna say that there's a reason why it's been heavily shown, exposed in this world. Okay, and you see something a lot like in the media and ads or whatever the hell. Like you just see it a lot. Eventually, like your brain will be like, oh, like if everyone's doing that, like I should do that too. Like like I want to be attractive and like seen and all these things. I think what happened is that our definition of being attractive has been very distorted as women, and we think that that's really important. I think is the problem is that most women don't realize that their true attractiveness that will make a man stay or make a man want to be in their life is the attractiveness comes through their inner work, okay? Working on yourself to become the best version of you and your divine feminine and your femininity, whatever you want to call it, okay? Like I'm calling it divine because like, Mother Earth, Mother Nature, it's all mother essence, right? So it's kind of divine. It's a very motherly something that's greater than us, okay? Like it's an energy that is around that surrounds us all the time. I feel like the whole like work on yourself grind has been like very portrayed as like something that's more masculine, but we don't realize that like inner work and discipline and control and all that stuff is not like it doesn't have a gender, okay? Both genders should be working on it nonetheless. Like it shouldn't be more men focused, that just because they're a man they should be the ones like pin straight focused, whatever the case is. Like a woman should have that as well, just not in the same ways, but like you should still have the same principle of wanting to work on yourself, right? Like it shouldn't be less valued. And I feel like a lot of women have that distortion. They don't realize that, and that's why a lot of women tend to fall off at some point in life, and they lose their spark because they don't focus on themselves. And I truly don't think that's an accident. I truly do think that it was kind of orchestrated in some way that women do eventually kind of fall out of their power, fall out of their throne, essentially, because it's a good way to essentially control women. And it's not in the way that it's like very obvious. It's a very subtle way that you can tell. Once you start really focusing on who you are and on your own power and just building yourself up as a woman, there are things that you literally will not care about anymore, because once you start valuing your inner work and valuing what's something that you want to pursue, something that, like, everything is just focused on your own energy, there are things that you're going to start to not give a shit about, okay? And that's the problem with our world, is that we focus on the wrong things, so then we want the wrong things, and that's why we feel just powerless and like desperate for things, because we're not focusing on the right things. And I had to come to realize that, okay? For a very long time, I think I was always craving some type of validation from a man, to just be seen or feeling worthy of some sort, and seeing that I'm good enough. And I started to realize that these men will never give you that. Like, it took me 21 years to realize that a man will never see your true essence, because you are a feminine, okay? And a man is not a feminine. He does not see your true essence in whole. He can love you for who you are and support you and all that stuff, but he will never see you completely as a woman. Just as we won't see men completely, whatever the case is. So like, for me, when I was in a relationship with a man, I did notice that from when I was 17, and I had this spark in me that honestly withered away, and I kind of lost my sense of identity when I was with this person. And it's not the person himself, okay? It's what happens when you get into a relationship that isn't necessarily fulfilling to you. And I honestly think that no matter how fulfilling a relationship will be, at the end of the day, being in a relationship will cost you something, okay? There's going to be a taking of energy. It is literally inevitable. No matter how good your relationship is, you have to understand that once you get into a relationship, you are signing off to that person some type of energy, and it's like an energy exchange, right? So you have to understand that you have to be at a point in your life where you have to be ready for a relationship. You cannot just get into a relationship because like I did. I just got into a relationship without knowing, because I was young, right? And I didn't realize what I was signing my energy off to, what was happening essentially. And I think a lot of women do go through that, and they kind of just blow it off because they're like, well, I'm with my man. I have a man, and this man is giving me attention, so I don't really give a shit that I've lost some of my energy, right? Like, I was very attached, right, to this person. And like, I had lost my sense of self. I literally lost my sense of self. So getting into a relationship, it comes with a compromise. I'm not saying that every person that gets into a relationship that they're going to feel fucking miserable, okay? But to be ready for that, you have to be able to know yourself. You have to be able to have some type of confidence, and literally just a very what's the word? Like, I was gonna say hard foundation, but I think it's more like sturdy foundation, where no matter who leaves you and who comes into your life, that foundation is always there. And a lot of women haven't been taught that. We haven't been taught to have a core foundation of being a woman and standing in our power. And then when a man comes and exits our lives, it doesn't like destroy us to pieces. I'll never forget in high school, like, a lot of girls being boy crazy. And I was never boy crazy. Like, I would look at guys or whatever, but like, I never was trying to like get their attention. And I started to realize that a lot of women, or a lot of girls, whatever, like, just in general, like, the females have been conditioned to constantly try and like run towards these men that have nothing to offer to them. And as we're trying to run to these men, we're destroying our womanhood between us girls. So girls literally start to hate each other because of men. you know? And it's fucked up because we lose our womanhood, we lose our trust and our bonds between us girls because of these men. It's fucking draining. It's draining as hell. So women don't know themselves. They're constantly running after men. These men are just taking away their energy. And women are not even like nice to each other and constantly talking shit behind themselves because they're insecure because they don't know it themselves, and they're constantly running after a man that has nothing to offer to them. That's literally our world, okay? So when I left my boyfriend at the time, I honestly forgot what it feels like to stand in your power, to be a woman without needing the attention of a man. I honestly completely forgot that it was a capability, that it was a possibility to just exist and be whole at the same time. So I started like trying to find a new guy, right? So I went through a couple of guys talking stages, whatever the case is, and I started to realize like there was never a good outcome, especially the men I was talking to, like they were toxic essentially, like they just like, you know, it's so hard to find a normal freaking stable human being nowadays. I don't know. I mean, was I looking in the wrong places? Maybe I wasn't in the right like places to look. But you start to realize that it's not even that, it's just the principle of constantly searching for a man is what literally siphons your energy as a woman. So I had to come to realize that, hey, you know, like you could be like totally fine on your own, you know, and especially that I have hobbies, like I have goals. I'm like, okay, you know what, fuck this, because the second that I was giving my energy away to a male, my priorities, my goals were like I tossed them to the side just for the attention of a guy that wasn't even close to being in my league, literally. Like had nothing to offer. Like very, you know, and just because I was like a bit attracted to him, I like was just like, yeah, that's what I want to give my attention to. And a lot of women do that. We do that. We just because we want the attention of these guys because that's what we've been conditioned to believe, that we just need to feel worthy by getting attention from guys. And it's just this crazy game that we're all sucked into. Like literally. Like I see it in women too, like even when I go to my gym, and I'm not saying that they're like dressed immodestly or whatever, but I can tell that like a lot of them are like kiss ass to men, and then when they look at women they give like these crazy dirty looks, like as if we're in a fucking contest. Like no, like this is so wrong, like it has to be the opposite. Like I'm glad that I know people that um are on the like we get each other, we're like woman to woman, you know what I mean? But like I can just tell that there's some women that they become like crazy fucking giddy over these men that have nothing to offer, and then like super mean towards another woman that's doing nothing to her. And the reason why is because like that's what I'm saying, like the women think that they're in competition for these scrawny men. I'm like, what are we doing? Like we women are so pretty, so gorgeous, so powerful, and we're becoming these ugly, like desperate girls for nothing, like for literally pennies. Like what is going on, you know? And it really makes me sad because I'm like, imagine if women would come together and be like super, you know, like let's say if women were more focused on their friendships and their loyalty around girls, how different would that be? I'm like, yeah, it would probably be too good, and that's why we've been conditioned to not be that way, you know? Like even in, if you ever look at like the movies and stuff, like we've literally been taught to hate each other. Like women always fighting for men, and then like backstabbing each other because they're like there's one guy and like four girls are running against that one fucking guy, and that guy has literally nothing to offer, but like those girls are like salivating over him. Like that's like in so many fucking movies or like TV shows, and like it's such a thing that we have been put ingrained into our heads that we have to be like constantly like trying to get the attention of a guy, you know? And we don't even realize we're doing it. You know, a lot of people will say like, "Oh yeah, like I dress like this for myself." But like in a way, I truly do believe that the essence of being like that is because it's for a man. Even if you're not doing it for a man specifically, the reason why it's been created is for a man. That's what it is. I truly believe that 100%. That I'm going to stand on. And like I said, like I don't care that you tell yourself I'm not doing it for a man. It was built for a man. Just remember that it was built for a man. And it's like we don't realize as women that we are literally the blueprint human, okay? The first human that comes You know, the essence of a human vessel is a woman. You know your genitals, okay? For a man, it's just a grown out version of a woman's genitals. That's literally what it is. Like the first thing that comes is a woman and then it's a man. So if we're the blueprint of a human being, we should be treated like the blueprint of a human being, right? But we're not. And that's why there's so much chaos in this world. Because the blueprint of the human being, the Gaia, the creator, essentially, is being treated lesser than that. And we put we put the wrong gender on the pedestal, you know? And to think that this world is not a living hell, you would be lying to yourself. You would be lying to yourself, right? Um, do I truly believe that this world would be better if we actually put the blueprint human being on the pedestal? 1000%. Let's not lie here. And it's not even trying to say that women are like superior to women to men, but it's like follow what has been given. You know, we don't follow what's been given. We twisted it. You twist the blueprint, you're gonna get distortion. And I'm not gonna say it's the direct correlation, but things accumulate, and it's very clear and it's very obvious now. So the second I started focusing on myself, the second I told myself, Olivia, enough. Okay, you were in a relationship, you tried talking to new guys, you know, you started realizing that the reason why you left your relationship was because you wanted to choose yourself. Okay, so now you're going to choose yourself. Stop looking for other guys. That's better, whatever. You will find your man at some point, you know, but you have to be good in your own skin to be able to attract the right man in your life. Because if you're not good in your own skin and you don't know who you are, and you're not doing the inner work, and you're not confident in all these things, you're not going to find the right man for you, and you're going to settle for a man that is extremely mediocre and that he doesn't know himself either, and he's not within his true masculine, and that's where women just fall apart, and you know, they lose it. They lose the power, and they stay small. And like I said, I chose myself now. I told, like, this is very recent. I literally was like, I'm choosing myself. Fuck this. The second I did that, my reality literally switched. Because I paid no attention to guys. And I'm someone that I go to a gym that is very like dominated and masculine, but like I love bodybuilding. Okay, bodybuilding is my sport, even though it's not something that is seen as like extremely feminine. It's something that literally just makes me so full. And that gym is like the only one in my city that is like super bodybuilding focused, and obviously that comes with its downsides of it being like 95% men, 5% women. So yeah, there's a lot of freaking guys like center like around me as I train. So at some point I felt like I was giving too much attention to these men, and I was looking, looking, like you're always, you know, they're all around, you're always looking, yeah, whatever. But I started to feel weak. I started to feel like I was almost like craving a validation that I was never gonna get, and I would leave the gym feeling literally emotionally drained, which is insane, right? Because what the fuck? Like I wasn't even talking to these guys, and I felt drained leaving my gym. Weird, right? But the second I said, "You're not looking at any of these guys," like I went to the gym once, and I literally told myself, "You're not making eye contact with one single guy." I was walking in the gym, and I was just staring at the fucking floor because I knew that guys were looking at me, but I was not paying them any mind. And when I tell you, I felt so good after that session. It was insane. It was like I entered a different world by just shifting my energy and focus onto me, you know, and making sure that I was fucking pushing as much as I can, not caring if I looked too sweaty or not good enough, right? I just focused on me and my training and training hard, and wow, that felt fucking different. So it started to make me realize, yeah, my true power, my true essence lays within the focus of me, myself, and just it's just that's what it is. That's what we have to be doing, you know, and trusting that once I focus on myself, whoever is meant to be in my life will enter my life. Stop chasing, stop looking for someone, because that person that you're chasing is not for you. That person you're not chasing, and if you chase someone and they come to you because you wanted them, just know that as much as they look so glamorous, you're settling for less. Most of the time, and most women will settle for less just because they just want to anchor that attention from that man. And then they're like, oh, like the second that man leaves their life, oh, I found myself. Oh, like my spark is back. Oh, I had lost my identity, and now it's like I'm feeling it again. Like I'm just sensing my true self again. Like, have you ever questioned why? Did you ever realize maybe the problem was right in front of your fucking face? You know, and why do you think there's so many women that are so bitter, you know? The reason why so many women are bitter is because they settled for less and they felt like that was their only choice. Because I don't know why a lot of people like feel like they're forced to do things when we forget we have free will. Like you could leave someone anytime, you know. Even if you have kids, you can do it. You know, if you want to feel happy, you're able to feel happy, you know? But a lot of these women are bitter. They're freaking bitter, and it's because of men. Because why would women be bitter against each other if they knew themselves, they didn't care about the validation of a man, and that they were confident and happy? Why would women be bitter against each other? There would be no absolute reason. But these are the fucking reasons why. It's because the women do not focus on themselves. They focus on getting a man. The man is already not even like for her. You know, she's settling for the wrong guy. And then there's like competition and like who's better and you know who's sexier and I'm like these things have to be removed. These things cannot continue in our evolution of human beings. It doesn't. It's see it's shit. It's shit. It was a crazy epiphany I went through. I was like, oh, that's why I feel like ass. Like it's because of these guys. And like I'm not putting blame on like men. I'm putting blame on like our center of focus. We focus on the wrong things. We put too much value and attention and energy in general on the wrong things, and that's why we feel so drained. So we need to start and reclaim our power as women. Like seriously. And it's not a war against men. It's really not. It's just you and shifting your focus. Realizing that the most important thing to do is to take care of yourself and figure out who you are as a woman. What makes you a strong, powerful woman? And then your partner will come into your life. And you shouldn't be begging for men because that's their little thing. And if a man can't chase a woman, that man is probably not straight in my opinion. Like it doesn't make any sense. Like I will never go up to a man. I do not care. I do not care. I will not go up to a man because my man is gonna come up to me. Okay? So if a man ever comes up to me, then my man is not anywhere near me. That's what it is. And this was not to come here and shit on men. It was really not. It's to tell women, hey, start to take accountability of yourself and realize just realize. It's really that's what it is. It's actually just realize. Like come aware of what you're doing. Become more self-aware of what's going on, what you're choosing to look at, what you're choosing to give your attention to. Just become more self-aware. Realize, try doing something different, and if that makes you feel better, because essentially there's no way that you would feel like shit if you start focusing on yourself, right? And the moment you feel more powerful doing that, you're gonna look back and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, no, I was like completely in an illusion. I was completely in a rabbit hole, essentially, because that you can get into just a rabbit hole. It just becomes a total like you're in the rabbit hole of a low frequency of just constantly looking for lust, love. It's not even real love. It's just more like attention. It's not even love. You're not even looking for love. People think they say, oh, I'm looking for love. No, you're not looking for love. You're looking for attention. Love will always be around you. Love is not something to chase because it's everywhere. And once you do what you gotta do and realize that love is around you, your true love will come around. Anyways, that's all I have for you guys for today. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed this topic. I hope you guys understand where I'm coming from. You know, it's all just with good intention. It's not to be a hater. But awareness is key. And yeah, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Ciao.